All right, folks, we're in a 2023 Lexus RX 500h F Sport. This thing costs $70,000. It's a hybrid, and I gotta say, like, this is not a car that I would be generally shopping for, right? We have to be honest. But it's a hybrid, and a lot of people have said, well, you gotta go hybrid, EV's not the way, blah, blah, blah. So we are doing that same route to Jerome, okay? And when I left home, this had 302 miles of range, displayed range. And we are going to see how this does, because people say, well, in gas-powered cars. Yeah, so we're on our way. We're gonna just compare the efficiency of both of these cars back to back while reviewing this RX 500h. It's beautiful. So it's the F Sport package, meaning it has huge 6-piston brakes in the front, colored in black. It has 21-inch satin black wheels. The black wheels being 21s, in the Model Ys, it's like it's a rough ride, it's terrible. In this, I'm floating on a cloud. The suspension is adaptable. It has eco, normal, and sport mode. And what gets me about most hybrids is the acceleration, the driving of them is like, ugh, it's terrible. And I expected that from this. Then I got on the gas and I was like, holy cow, this thing, I think they're piping sound into the cabin, but they've done a really nice job of it. It's really refined, so I don't mind it. Sounds like you're in a big V8, and I would bet the 0 to 60 time is in the 4 seconds, so let's do a test right now. So that 0 to 61 was 6.3 seconds in normal mode. Let's try sport mode. And the second run I just did that I didn't record was 5.92 seconds in sport mode. So not quite as fast as I thought, but the car feels really fast because of the torque that it has, over 406 foot-pounds. So it's very quick. Oh no, we gotta catch this on camera. X5. God dang it, X5 throws the M badge on it. It's a 40i, okay? So like how, see, this is what I don't understand. I get that you can get the M Sport package. I think he does have it, by the way. But why would you go buy that badge and then this guy sticks it on? Does he think he has an M? And you guys did actually have a good argument for it. And I didn't even consider this, as some of you said you do it to troll people and because it's funny. I'm not sure that I 100% buy that. I think that's an easy cover-up. Say, oh, it's just being funny. But that guy, I think he's trying to say, oh yeah, it's the M Sport. It grinds me, you know? It shouldn't. I admit that, it shouldn't, but it does. 4xe, got the hybrid Jeep here. Talk about a piece of junk. This thing, I mean, it drives beautifully. Got these paddle shifters here. Also, one other thing, we might as well cover every issue in this video. How about the Dalai Lama? Did you see him sticking his tongue out and say, suck my tongue? That was weird. And they were covering up for him like, well, he likes to be funny. I'm like, I like to be funny too, but I've never asked someone to suck my tongue, right? So I think there's a fine line there, right? Tongue or no tongue. Right? Leave it there. All right, so as you can see there, we have the heads-up display going and driver assist. So it's adaptive cruise control, and it's keeping me centered in the lane. It's actually working really nice. I appreciate that it has that feature. One time I was in when I was doing driver's ed, or the teacher, Ed, was like, his wife would always call him and he'd answer the phone and he'd say, love you. That's how he always answered the phone. So he answered the phone one time and I'm coming up to a yellow light and then it goes red, and it was like my first time in driving. I was like, should I? And I just blew through a red light during driver's ed. But he was cool with it. He was like, it's my fault. I shouldn't have been on the phone. I was like, you shouldn't have been drinking either. Look at this. M5 or X5, right? Class. That other guy was holding his phone like this. You know he was talking to no one. He's doing fake business. Call Reffy. Oh, they changed it. No! So as we're going downhill here, you can see we're actually getting some charge put into the battery. Actually, no, that's not happening. Yeah. And then you can see the graphic showing, okay, engines putting energy into the battery and the wheels. Yeah, it's a pretty fascinating system. When you're going downhill, like a severe downhill, I did feel it like kind of have the gear effect, so you can feel it slowing down but putting kinetic energy back into the battery. Yeah, I guess I appreciate this hybrid because the driving dynamics are very good. It's very comfortable, it's powerful, has good sound. Like I'm very impressed with this car. And again, this isn't something that I was like really looking forward to driving, but it surprised me, and I always like when cars do that. Do I? Oh yeah, is that what you like, when cars surprise you? What am I even talking about at this point?
Hello?
Hello?
Dude, how the f do I change the mirrors in this Tesla?
So you rented a Tesla and then what?
Dude, so I got, first of all, the Hertz line. My flight landed at like 10:50. I didn't get to Jeff's place until almost 1:30. I've only driven yours for like 5 minutes, and like all the settings were set. The mirrors obviously were set for like the shortest person on the face of the planet.
Right.
And so I drove all the way from Seattle to Tacoma, and so like I'm like freaking out because like it's nighttime, it's raining, and there's like glares, and so I'm like freaking out because I'm gonna like run into somebody.
So there's been a lot of talk lately about inflation and why things are expensive. You want to see why tires are expensive? You have to take a full 18-wheeler and ship one tire. So, you know, when I run for president, that'll be the first thing I do, is we will streamline the shipping of tires. So the Lexus RX500H has a turbocharged 2.4-liter four-cylinder engine making 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission and a dual-motor hybrid system with Lexus Direct all-wheel drive. Additionally, what makes this thing look so good is the F-Sport features. So the aluminum interior accents, opposed 6-piston front brake calipers in black, adaptive variable suspension, and dynamic rear steering. It also has Alcantara trim all through the interior, which looks really nice. And it's not suede, it's a true Alcantara, along with a panoramic sunroof with a cover that goes over top. In the back of the RX500, you do have this huge trunk space. It also comes with this cover, which locks up like that. And then to release it, just press up and it releases it on the track. It has a 120-volt AC converter there, putting out 1,500 watts, which is impressive. Then your regular 12-volt up here. Back into the rear of the car, even more luxury. The door handles are interesting. All you do on these is press out and it releases the lock on the door. And the same goes for how you open the car. So this looks like a normal handle. It doesn't move. It's totally stationary. There's a button you press behind it and the door pops open. So once you get used to that, very nice feature. Additionally, we're just gonna keep saying additionally, you'll notice this seat's back. Andrew was kind of leaning back from the front. This is powered reclining seats. Additionally, they are heated and cooled. So we can go ahead and put it on the cooling setting, and you can have cooled or heated seats in the rear of the car. That's very rare. And for a $70,000 car, I'm really happy that it has it. The overall look of the RX is, I really don't know how to describe it. It's almost a mix of going up to the larger GX model. It's tough to say. There's this really tall, long front here. And when you sit in it, the seating position is excellent. The seating position is much higher than I would have expected it to be for an SUV this size. But really what gets this and what makes this a great car is the driving dynamics. Now, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of the exterior, despite this really cool paint job, which is a $595 option. It's called Copper Crest. I actually had a guy stop his car and say how cool of a color this is, and he's never seen anything like it. I think it looks beautiful. I like the black mirror caps matching, again, the matte black wheels with the black brake calipers. So the F-Sport package does a lot for it. And there's this beautiful swooping line here, which is partially a window in the back seat, kind of tying it all together. It looks like a very sleek car, but still the proportions of the front of the hood with how tall it is, and then the sleekness of the rest of the car is kind of tough to look at. But what wins it for me is how great this car is to drive. Has excellent power, has great efficiency, 27 miles per gallon city, 28 miles per gallon highway. One thing I want to mention as we're driving along here are these F Sport seats. I personally feel like they're a little too aggressive for an SUV. You're probably not going to be taking this to the canyons, or definitely not taking it to the track. I've had other people sit in it. They kind of like how stiff they are and supportive on either side of you. But just something to note, if you're not able to actually sit in the car and test these seats out before you order one, I feel like they're fairly stiff. So just something to note. But the overall comfort of this thing, the suspension and the power, it's such a pleasure to drive in terms of it being a hybrid. Tons of power, tons of comfort. You have some customization you can do with the suspension and steering and all of that. So it's been pretty cool. And I've also seen the battery charge up as we did our descent. I think in terms of a hybrid, the fit and finish and everything on this is very well done. The other thing that I can appreciate coming from an electric vehicle, I own a Model Y, is the fact that I have zero worry right now of, oh, am I gonna make it back or whatever. Now, there's chargers, right, for me to stop, but I'm gonna easily be able to make this round trip. I have 109 miles distance to empty. It's just done what it's supposed to. So yeah, the driving experience has been great. There's even these paddle shifters here. If I wanna downshift, there's a cop in front of me. Like, it just has a good induction sound. I'm almost certain, I'm 85% sure that's a fake induction sound, but they did such a nice job that it adds to the experience of being in this car. It's very tastefully done. I really like that as well. So I currently have dynamic cruise control on and the active lane keep assist, so it centers me in the lane. And it's very good. Like, Tesla Autopilot's very good, but this doesn't show any signs of doing any phantom braking. Additionally, when I change lanes, it lets me, steer the car, change the lane, and then it goes right back into the green lines pop up, and I'm locked into the centering on this. So I don't have to reset anything. So the cruise control is very good. It does have this infrared bar right here, pays attention to where my eyes are looking. So if I've looked over here, like, a warning will come up, like, yeah, hold the steering wheel. So it wants you to be paying attention, but also lets you just kind of rest, keep one hand on the wheel, and for road trips, that makes it extremely convenient. I've now driven the RX500H 335 miles, and I just filled it up. So 12.774 gallons is how much we put in it. That costs $62.58. We're getting around 25 to 26 miles per gallon. Nice thing about this is there is no charging involved. You don't have to charge this type of a hybrid. Some hybrids you do have to charge, and I kind of find that to be a pain. I like that this is a hybrid that you do not have to plug in, you don't have to play with it, but you still get the benefits and efficiencies of it. While going downhill, it's charging the battery and giving you efficiency that otherwise you wouldn't get out of an SUV like this. So it is a lot more convenient than a Tesla. Ultimately, in the end, it's going to cost more to maintain this with oil changes and the cost of fuel, but it's not as far as you may think, and just the comfort and power and refinement that this has is still better than a Tesla. Now, the new Teslas are very good. They're getting a lot better. They just have years to catch up in terms of the vehicle's refinement. But whereas Lexus has been building gas-powered cars for years and doing a great job of that, they're so far behind in building electric cars. So it's a trade-off no matter which way you go, but I'm really impressed with the F Sport. Now, if you want to see me review a different Lexus, the LC500 Hybrid, click this video right here. That car is very interesting. If you like this, you're going to like this.